still in utero before I was born, but it stands for pain in the ass.
You probably heard that, but just so you know.
Yeah, but so my real name is Pauline, by the way. I feel like you don't know me. Well, no, that's good because I'm actually gonna talk because I don't really know any of you guys. I feel like none of you guys know me. I'm so new, so I'm actually gonna like talk a little bit about my background, and that'll tie into the whole topic. Questions, comments, concerns? I feel like a teacher right now. I kind of like this. All right, so the topic I chose. Wait, let me make sure these are in order because I dropped them in the car. Lynn made me number them. All right, we're good. All right, topic is scattered growth. So, a little background about me. I've been an athlete my whole life. I'm from Los Angeles, California. When I was 13 months old, I started cheerleading. And in preschool, I started gymnastics and t-ball. And then in middle school, I started softball. Junior high, I did basketball, softball, and cheerleading. And that is also when I started all-star cheerleading, which is like competitive cheerleading, not just... Anyway. And then when I started all-star cheerleading, that was the first time I was on ESPN. So we'll start with that. So my three constants were always judo, gymnastics, and cheerleading because those were my loves. I loved all three of them. I never wanted to give up. I never wanted to give those up. Like, they were just all so fun to me. Well, unfortunately, my parents did not like driving from one end of LA to the other, and you guys all know about Los Angeles traffic. So they were like, if you're gonna do 3 sports at one time, you have to get straight A's. I was like, fuck. So I had got straight A's my whole life because I wanted to do those sports, not because I like school, because it's not really my thing. So anyway, when I got to high school, I always did judo. I was on multiple cheer squads, and I was traveling the world for judo and cheerleading. More judo, but I was very, very high level at both of them. And that's basically that part. And then, right out of high school, the Olympic Committee moved me to Colorado Springs to the Olympic Training Center for judo. And I went to the University of Colorado at Colorado Springs. So this was my plan in life, all right? I was gonna go to the Olympic Training Center, and then after the Olympics, I'd be done, I'd be fat and happy, never cut weight again, and I would, do nothing. I think that was my mentality. I was like, after the Olympics, I'm not doing anything. And then I was like, well, of course you have to have a career after, so I was like, I don't know. The thing that kind of stuck out most was FBI. That's about what I had planned, okay? That's what I thought I was planting my seeds for. Page 2. All right. So, travel the world, do all this stuff, injuries, deaths, just stuff happens in life. No excuses, but shit happens, and after I'm 2 Olympics in, I'm like, I have not made an Olympic team. I'm traveling 70% of the year. I'm making weight 30, 40 times a year. I don't even feel like I know my family anymore. Your best friends are the people that speak English when you're in another country, and that's about all you have. Fortunately, one of my friends that I had since I was like 8, 9, 10, somewhere around there, was Ronda Rousey. Been friends our whole lives, still am. One day, we're more towards the end of my judo career. I just didn't know it was the end. Keep that in mind. And talked to Rhonda randomly, just friend talk. And she goes, dude, you need to do MMA. I was like, no. No. So when I'm done with judo, I'm gonna be fat and happy and maybe the FBI because I need to make money. That's it, right? And she was like, dude, you're one of the most athletic people I know. Your gymnastics. She goes, you can do some crazy stuff. Maybe do a flip off the cage and knock someone out. I was like, right. Little did I know people do stuff off the cage at the time. I didn't even know what a jab was at this point, mind you. And so she spent a lot of time convincing me. I was like, no. Well, at the same time, judo's rules had actually changed. You used to be allowed to grab the legs and do firemen's, tegarumas, double leg, stuff like that. Anything where you could use the legs and use it as the throw. And they changed the rules because the Japanese are mean and they were tired of losing. So now you cannot grab the legs. And that was a really big part of my game. And I was like, man, at the time, so I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna work on my traditional Japanese style judo more. I'm gonna get better at technique and this and that. And I was like, fuck, I don't love this anymore. And I knew it, but I would like not say it, because I'm gonna go to the Olympics and then I'm gonna retire, and I'm, you know, this is all planned out. That's what my seeds have been planted for, you know, and it just wasn't, it was not working out at all. Well, Rhonda keeps calling, keeps trying to convince me. I go visit her for a while. She introduces me to Dana White, and that's it. I'm still doing judo. I go back to Colorado Springs, because she lives in Los Angeles, so I went home to Los Angeles, visited her for a little while, came back to Colorado Springs, and I was in the middle of the FBI process through Denver FBI, and that was it. I thought my seeds had already been planted, and my bamboo was now starting to grow. All right, I was ready, and well, that's not really what happened. Turns out, I still had seeds that were going to be planted, for sure. A whole hell of a lot more than I thought. So, after some very good convincing, and Rhonda's very good at convincing people of things, let me tell you. But I really did start watching MMA, and I was like, you know what, this is, it's actually really cool, and I can grab the legs again, which I was like, that's what I love about judo, so hell yeah. And I was like, wait, Rhonda's living on the beach in Venice right now. I'm like, she's not a broke athlete. We're not roaming the streets of Europe with like no euros to like go get like some food or anything, you know, like you pay money basically for judo to be able to do judo. You don't make it. You don't make anything. I mean, I was like, if it wasn't for my parents, like, and me working full time after college to pay for judo, I had nothing. So, after much deliberation, I retired from judo, which was very, very difficult, but I think it would have been more difficult had I not gone straight into MMA. I still had a little bit of that like athlete depression, you know, and they retire and they kind of don't know what to do with their lives. I still had that because it's really hard. I've been doing judo since I was 7. It was rough. So I moved to LA and I started training at GFC, Glendale Fight Club, with Rhonda. For basically I was helping her with her camps, because I think I was the only person she couldn't take down and stuff like that. And yeah, and then I started to learn. I learned what a jab was finally. Just barely learned. Like I'm in like those little kids kind of class, you know. That's what I was learning. All right. So my topic is planting seeds. So I'm gonna go ahead and this is right here an example. I've known Rhonda since I was a kid. Right? What are the odds she would have grown up to be like some superstar? I mean, you don't know you don't know the people like when you're a kid, you don't even know. I don't even know if I'd be friends with her, but we're still really good friends. And well, Rhonda became famous, and thank goodness, because Rhonda was famous. Lynn, my partner, happened to be a huge MMA fan, and she saw me on Rhonda's page one time. All right. And well, now you guys know the history. We're together, so she messaged me, and yeah. Thank goodness. Now, mind you, we should not have met. This is what I'm saying about planting seeds. We should not have met. Like we are two totally different worlds. Like I had never even been to the South, and I mean I'm just from Los Angeles, and I did judo, and she did D1 softball, and she's such a lesbian. But so that was that, and you know, we became serious, and I moved to Tennessee with her. We were there about a year, or I was there about a year, and I mean, it was pretty obvious that I was not in a place that I could train full time. You know, you could train full time, but it just wasn't gonna happen. You weren't gonna make it, and I didn't retire and not make an Olympic team to do judo, or to do MMA, just to like do it. Like I'm gonna make a career out of it. You know what I mean? I want to be a world champion. And so I was like, it was pretty evident we couldn't be there anymore. Well, we all know about seeds being planted. When I was at the Olympic Training Center, I met a friend named Carrie Berry, who was on the USA boxing team. Well, she like had been reaching out to me. She's like, your hands suck. You need to come out here. Let me show you something. I'm like, well, thank you. Yes, I know, because I just learned what a jab was, but all right. And then she's like, come out. And I was like, I don't know. And then Rose Namajunas wanted me to come out to train too. And I was like, all right, well, we'll go try it out. Come to Colorado, hang out with Carrie at her gym in Boulder, just boxing and train with Rose and all that. I was like, all right, you know what, fuck it, let's do it. So we packed the Prius, the dog, and boom, we're off to Colorado. And so that's how we got to Colorado. Well, Carrie had a friend that went to Easton, one of the 27 Eastons or something, and then somehow or another I wound up on Team Elevation. I actually didn't even know I was on the team initially because I was still at Carrie's gym because I didn't understand that there were like fight teams, like big fight teams like that, because I come from a world where I just didn't know. I don't know the MMA world at all. So yeah, and Team Elevation served this season, and it just wasn't a fit. Well, wait, did I think I might have done, oh yeah, I have to flip the page. No, I don't. Okay, never mind. So it served its season and that was it. So basically from all of that, because Rhonda had introduced me to Dana, this basically what happened was while I was at Team Elevation one day, I'm about to fight, my flight leaves the next day, and we get a call, the fight's off. The girl canceled the fight. Right when I'm about to get on the plane, I'm like, thanks, motherfucker. But because of that seed that was planted by Rhonda so long ago when I met Dana, he became a friend over the years, and he knows Lynn, and he was asking Lynn if I was ready for the fight and all that, and she goes, it just got canceled. He's like, what? Well, next thing I know, I'm getting a phone call from Mick Maynard. I'm like, okay. And then he hooks me up with LFA, and that's how I got involved with LFA. All right. Well, after a while, Team Elevation it just wasn't working and it wasn't a good fit. And I was really fortunate to have a coach that gave me his blessing and told me to go look at other gyms. It was awesome. I really appreciate him. But fuck, were we lost. Like, here I am, I came to Colorado, I'm on this day, I think I'm like here, and I'm doing MMA, I'm like, we gave up our families, our lives, everything to be here, and we're like, what the fuck are we gonna do? So, oh my gosh, we don't know the MMA world, and we were super, super discouraged. It was rough, so Lynn and I did what we do best, we decided to travel. So we traveled to different gyms, and we were trying all kinds of places. Well, we were driving from, actually, Georgia, to see my brother, and trained at a gym there, to Tennessee. We were driving back to Colorado. In the meantime, we actually stopped at Laura Sanko's house. And the reason I know her was because of the seed that was planted years before. I know Dana, we were in Vegas watching the Contender Series, and she's part of the Contender Series, got to know her, went to dinner with her and Mick Maynard. So you guys all get it. So, Laura Sanko, we stay at her house, and she's like, hey, you should really go to this gym. It's really close to my house, it's called Glory MMA. I'm like, all right, cool, let's check it out. Like, why not? What the fuck else am I doing right now? So we go check it out, and that's when I meet James Cross. All right, and I'm watching him, I'm like, holy shit, this guy is odd. Like, it's hard to impress me, but I was like, okay. This guy knows what the hell he's doing. I'm like, all right. And I tell Lynn, I look at her, I was like, I don't know, man, he's really, I'd be interested. I'm like, and then we're driving back, I'm like, doesn't he fight? Like, he's still in the UFC and stuff. I'm like, yeah, and he's a coach, all right. Spoke to him after practice the practice I watched and all that. And that's the first I heard of Mark Montoya, because he told me that he did his camps in Colorado. Say the whole seed thing, I don't know. And that's that. So we're in Colorado, and we're like, Lynn's working, I'm trying to figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do. And we're as low as you can get. You don't even it was rough. So then LFA is coming back to Broomfield, and they're gonna do, I don't know which one it was actually. But anyway, they're coming to Broomfield, they call me and they ask me to do their Twitter takeover. I'm like, yeah, I need to get back. I need to at least go watch fight. I need to do something, because I wasn't doing nothing. So, and mind you, oh, okay, well, that was the LFA one. That B one is title, so cheers. So anyway, we're watching the fights, and I'm talking to Lynn. I'm like, man, these Factory X guys are like really killing it. I was like, that Mark Montoya guy must be like, he knows his shit. And so I'm going to the back after, and the fights are over. We're going to the back, and I literally almost ran into Mark. And we had introduced. I was like, wait, I know James Crowd. We're like talking, and then I have to go do this interview with like MMA Junkie or something. And so he keeps talking to Lynn, and he grabs her phone and puts his number in there. And he tells me, whenever you'd like come check out the gym. And I was like, did he know I was looking for a gym? Like, I was thinking, man, but I don't know. And I was like, all right. So I talked to Lynn later. I'm like, well, what the hell do we have to lose? I was like, we're in Denver. We might as well go check it out. Because I really just didn't know much. I didn't know anything about this place. So I got invited. All right. Well, you guys all know what happened. Had some interviews, did a week. I fucking love you guys. You're all awesome. I'm on the fucking team now. So but look at, like, here's what I wanted to say is, like, look at how many fucking steps it took to get here. Like, it basically took like a Rhonda to a friend from the Olympic Training Center, and this to like beat Mark. And it's like, that's just, it's just insane. And like everything is growing at different times, but I stayed consistent, because I knew I wanted to do this. But I'd like to say, I definitely know that I'm on the right team. Like, I'm here, I love this place. This place is awesome. Trust me, I've been to a lot of gyms that I've tried out, been at. The grass is not greener on the other side. So for those of you guys that wonder, it is not. And now I'm about to have a fight. That's my first fight with you guys, so I'm so excited. You guys are awesome. It's February 21st in the UFC Fight Pass, so keep that in mind. Please watch. All right. So now I'm going to take you back to the beginning. All right, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about, just quickly, how all these things finally brought, like, all these seeds I had planted as a child and my whole life basically came now down to MMA at this point. So cheerleading, I'm on ESPN. We obviously know the UFC is on ESPN now. There's something about cheerleading when you go and run out onto that stage and the lights are on you and the crowd is roaring. There's something that just like something just clicks, and I'm like, oh, time to perform. All right, let's go. And it's like, I know what to do. My body just does it, and I'm ready to perform, and it happens. Like, very, very similar to MMA. They're right, boom, cameras, boom, lights, crowd, so awesome. Judo, I think we all can figure out why judo has helped me in MMA. So, don't forget softball, basketball. Actually in softball, I still lead the home run record at my high school. Throw that out there. But no, really, I know boxers will hit use bats and hit bags, to help their punches or something. I don't know, I did that before, but you have to think there's hand-eye coordination, all that. All of this is helping me. I just didn't realize that those seeds were being planted then for this. And my support systems, my parents, they were strict with me. They were kind of strict like Mark is. Okay, you gotta do this, this, and this, and this, this. And if you want to do this, and don't be a bitch. Just my mom called me so many things. She likes to cuss a lot. And Lynn, what are the odds that I met someone from a completely different world, and now we're just how in the book Russ we're reading, and he's when 1 + 1 equals so much more or something, he says. Well, that's us. I can't do it without her. Absolutely not. All right. I truly know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, though. I mean, I thought I wanted to be the FBI, but I don't even know what I would do right now if I was stuck in an office most of the time trying to chase criminals and you see some horrible shit, and I don't think that's a life to live. I've never loved anything like this either. It's so fucking fun. And it's everything I've ever done, now I get to in really crazy ways get to use it here. I actually knocked a girl out the cheer kick before. I'd like to add that too. There's so much stuff that it's just insane that my entire life I never would have thought. I mean, women's MMA was not something I grew up I didn't even know what MMA was until I was in college. So so many seeds planted at different times, and everything grows at different times. I'm learning that. And I really, truly, seeds are still being planted now. The amount of seeds I feel Mark has been planting right now is just insane. I'm great, I thought, I was on it, but I realized I'm not at all. And I feel like I'm just getting started, and I'm in a new area of growth in life right now, and it's awesome. And I really think this place, all of you guys. I truly believe though that like this whole team right here, that we're all like in a big planter box, right? And Marcus just planted all these seeds for us, and we're all like, we're just gonna grow at different times, you know? And I'm sucking up a little because I was late this morning, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Like everybody's seeds, we're all like this big planter box, and all of our seeds were planted by this awesome guy, including the entire coaching staff. Like you can't forget about them at all. And we're all gonna grow at different times. We're gonna see what happens in life, and I'm super excited about this journey, so thank you.